Kind of weird. They're dating, they're together, they're boyfriend, girlfriend, but he never, ever, includes pictures of her on his social. Is this like a major red flag or not? If you got something going on in your life and you want to share it with us, we toss it out to Bert Show fam around the country. Hit us up at thebertshow.com. I think Kristen has the email.
Dear Bert Show, I've been dating my boyfriend for about 8 months now. We met on a dating site and neither of us were looking for a relationship, but we clicked really well and it's been going great. However, I've been upset lately because my boyfriend never posts about me. I mean, never. Not even on his Instagram stories. He only has Instagram. It used to not bother me, but it has been lately now that we are closer to being together for almost a year. Plus the fact that we will go do things together and he will post something about the event, but never that I was there with him. For example, this last weekend, we went to Seattle and he posted scenery pictures and pictures of the things we did in Seattle. But if you were one of his followers, his post made it look like he went alone. I recognize that I have some past trauma from another relationship where I was cheated on a lot. And so when I have confronted my boyfriend about how this issue makes me feel, I have made it clear that it really bothers me and how it would make me happy if he would make sure I made some kind of appearance on his social media in the future. I've had this talk with him about 4 times in the last 2 months. And the 4th time was on the drive home from the Seattle trip last weekend. So the man knows I'm upset. I should also mention that I have posted him on my Insta story, but only once, which was in Seattle, because I felt embarrassed to post him when he was not posting me, which he knows. Well, last night, I had some liquid courage and said, screw it, and posted a picture we took in Seattle together on my Instagram. I even tagged him. He liked the picture. He liked the message it sent him through DM saying that I tagged him in a post. But when I went to his tagged photos, it's not there. My brain immediately started screaming red flags. I could be wrong, but I feel that means the man either removed the tag or he chose to not have it show on his tagged photos. Either way, I feel my fear that has been trying I feel my fear that he's been trying to keep me a secret this whole time and potentially has other girls on the side has been confirmed. I know this sounds silly, but I cannot help how upset this issue has made me and the fact that he hid the photo I tagged him in. Honestly, I'm on the verge of breaking it off. That is how big of a red flag this is to me. I mean, what good reason could he possibly have to make sure that I am not on his social media at all? I could be jumping to big conclusions, which is why I need some advice from you guys and your listeners. P.S. I should add that there is a 10-year age gap between me and him, so I recognize social media is a more important thing in my generation than his, but he's still pretty active on Insta. I also should mention that I have met his whole family, his kids, his friends, and his coworkers. So it's not that he's hiding me in real life, which is why I'm so hung up on why his social media makes him look single. He has a lot of women followers, and I would say at least half the people who like or comment on his stuff are women. I've never seen him actively flirt or any other signs of infidelity, but who is on his social media that he is so afraid to have see me? His girlfriend. Help.
Major red flag. You guys want in on this? Some of you must have gone through this situation before. 1-855-BERT-SHOW. Mo?
I'll probably be in the minority on this one for sure, but I don't think... Now, the part about him removing the tagged photo, I would take as a red flag because I don't see why he would untag the photo that she tagged him in. But as far as the social media, I've never been the person that felt like because we're in a relationship, you have to put me on your social media. If we were married, I may see it differently. But I know a lot of people who don't want to do that simply because if it doesn't work out, you don't want to be the person that has to go back and take them all down. Or maybe he uses his social media for things other than his personal life. It's not a big deal for me.
I'd be offended. You're a year in a relationship and you're sharing everything in your I mean, there he is sharing pictures that he's on vacation, but the only ones he's not sharing is the ones that she's in. I'd be really, really offended by that.
I have a technicality question, and I don't know if our social media producer can answer this if you are privy to Instagram. Do you have to go and change a setting, or if he previously changed the setting where he doesn't allow for tagged photos, like that's something that's been set up on his phone so he doesn't know that his tagged photos aren't showing?
I'm not really sure of that, Rebecca.
I'm pretty sure he has to manually go
But maybe he manually did it a long time ago and hasn't undone it. So it's not like he went and intentionally untagged himself in this one or prevented it from being shown. Maybe that's something he did a while ago and just hasn't reversed.
Dobby.
Well, if he did that in his settings, then when she tried to tag him, it wouldn't let her.
Oh, okay. Well, then never mind.
So she tagged him. He had to go to that photo, hold down on it, say remove tag. So he took himself out of that. Maybe he just thought he looked foul. And then as far as like him not putting you on his feed, maybe he thinks you look foul. You got to ask yourself, are you Insta-worthy? Like, are you better than the Seattle skyline? Are you better than that amazing burger? I had a girlfriend that was like, he never posts pictures of me. I was like, he only posts pictures of food. Like, that's his thing. You can't take it personally.
Cover yourself in mac and cheese and see what happens.
Kate, good morning. You are part of the Bert Show. Is this a major red flag? He's posting pictures when they're together. He's just not putting her in any of the photos.
First, let me say good morning, and I love you guys.
Thank you.
Love you too.
I think she should definitely listen to her gut. Women's intuition is always on point, let me tell you. She should listen to her gut. I'm not going to say he's cheating on her, but it is a red flag that it was untagged.
Yeah, I mean, just the fact for a year. But Mo, you said you'd be all right with that.
I would. I never, again, like in a relationship, I know some people have this need to want to be shown and want people to know, hey, we're in a relationship. But if you're treating me good in real life, I'm not like killing myself over what you're doing with your social media. I don't care.
Courtney, is this a red flag or not?
Most definitely. My boyfriend and I have been together 3 years, and he doesn't really post on social media, which that's okay, cool, whatever. But the fact that he would remove his tag, yeah, that's a big red flag.
Okay. Pedro is the only one calling that says, nah, not a big deal. Pedro, what's up?
Hey, man, well, depending on where he works, and by that I mean in intelligence or counterintelligence, he may be trying to actively avoid anybody knowing who that is.
So the only way he gets out of this is if he's a CIA.
Right.
Man is a spy. Leave him alone.
That's probably a reach, right? All right. At least there's some wiggle room now.
He's not cheating. He's just a hitman.
I got to look at it from all angles. That's probably the case. That's probably the case.
It's a valid point.
The man is saving the world. Will you leave him alone?
Yeah.
The Bert Show.